I have an update in the Petito versus Laundrie lawsuit. I have a copy of the amended complaint, which means that Gabby's parents have changed their lawsuit. So I'm going to walk you through the amended complaint, the amended lawsuit. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to point out specific facts, specific counts they now allege, and who they allege did what. So join me as I walk you through the amended complaint. Hi there, I'm Michele Hagan. I'm a legal analyst and a former prosecutor. You may recognize me because I provided a lot of legal analysis on the Elizabeth Holmes trial. And I've also done several videos on the Petito versus Laundrie lawsuit. And in particular, I encourage you to take a look at, to watch the Examining Petito versus Laundrie lawsuit, because that's the initial lawsuit they filed. What we're going to look at now is the amended complaint, the amended lawsuit, meaning what changes did the Petito Schmidts, Gabby's parents, now allege against Brian's parents. So this video is for education and information. It's simply my opinion. I want to know what's your analysis. So please do leave a comment. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. Please support my work by subscribing and hit that like button. Okay, so let me walk you through the amended complaint that they just filed. Just filed this. Okay, so here it is. They filed it on 4/28 at 2:45. The court put it online around 5 o'clock, and I have a copy of it. So we're going to take a look at it and just note where I use the highlight. You know me, I like to use the highlighter. That'll show you the changes, the differences between the amended, the changes that they now made in their lawsuit. Okay, so it says amended complaint. And if you recall, the judge gave Gabby's parents 20 days to fix their complaint because Brian's parents, the defendants, have already filed a motion to dismiss. They want to get rid of this lawsuit. They're claiming that it's a violation of their constitutional rights, that it wasn't specifically, the facts weren't alleged. They're asking the court to dismiss it. But before the judge makes a determination, the judge gave Gabby's parents an opportunity to amend to fix their complaint. Because when the judge considers whether or not to dismiss this lawsuit, the judge looks at the four corners of the complaint, or the four corners of the lawsuit. And this is what the judge will be looking at. In particular, did Gabby's parents allege enough facts to constitute a cause of action? Okay. And if that cause of action, is there any reason to kick out that cause of action? Now, Brian's parents have already said that, you know, they had a constitutional right to remain silent and not to, you know, and their First Amendment right to speak or not speak, because Gabby's parents are alleging that Brian's parents withheld information. You know, did Brian murder Gabby Petito? Did they know where Gabby's body was? Facts going to that. So let's take a look at what's called the amended complaint. So in other words, this is the second attempt to by Gabby's parents to fix up their complaint, right? They want to make sure it's legally sufficient to withhold any challenge of a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. Okay, so let's go through it. So amended complaint. So this is all the same, you know, come out, Joseph and Petito, Gabby's father, Nichole Schmidt, are suing Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, Brian's parents. And this is, they have to allege actions. They're actually suing for more than 100,000. Venue in Sarasota, jurisdiction the court has. What they changed here, and if you look at the Examining the Lawsuit video I did, they deleted one of the Florida statutes that relates to declaratory relief. It basically what that means is, it's not always easy to simplify this, but what it means is declaratory relief is they want the judge to use their jurisdiction to dismiss a case for immunity reasons, privilege reasons, or rights. But they deleted that now. They're not pursuing this lawsuit under that Florida statute. So I don't know if it matters, but I thought it was interesting. All right. All this other is the same that was in their original complaint. So I'll just scroll through it and I'll point out there's a couple changes here. And again, keep in mind, the judge has to make a decision based on what is specifically pled in the four corners of this complaint. If Gabby's parents didn't put in enough facts to support a cause of action for damages for intentional infliction of emotional distress, then the court could dismiss this case. So what did they add? Well, here, look at paragraph 23. While Gabby Petito's parents' family was suffering, the Laundrie family went on a vacation. And here's where they added, look at the highlights. They went on vacation knowing that Brian Laundrie had murdered Gabby Petito. It is believed that they knew where her body was located. See, you see, Gabby's parents are getting very specific here. They're specifically alleging facts. They knew that Gabby was murdered. They knew where her body was. And further, they knew that Gabby's parents were attempting to locate her. Why does that matter? Because if they are claiming that Brian's parents caused them intentional infliction of emotional distress, they have to lay out specific facts. They were on vacation, knew that Gabby had been murdered. They knew where her body was, and they knew that Gabby's parents were trying to find her. Okay, is that sufficient? We'll find out in the motion to dismiss. Okay, so what else did they change here? Paragraph 25, on September 14th, with full knowledge that Gabby Petito had been murdered by their son, this is what they added, and it is believed that they knew the whereabouts. See, they're getting very specific. They're saying that they knew. And why are they saying that Brian's parents knew? Are they thinking about an accessory? I mean, why are they specifically saying that? Accessory after the fact? Or is it just basically trying to prove up their case for emotional distress? Meaning they had to know that they were withholding specific information. In this case, the whereabouts of where Gabby was. And again, this is a very, very tragic case, very tragic. Okay, so, is that enough to show their knowledge to create emotional distress for Gabby's parents? Paragraph 26, they added, for the Laundries to express their hope that Gabby Petito was located and reunited with her family at a time when they knew she had been murdered by their son was beyond outrageous. See, they are right here saying that the fact that Brian's parents knew where Gabby, allegedly, knew where Gabby was located at a time when they knew she had been murdered by their son, and they withheld that information, that is outrageous. And why are they specifically saying that? Because one of the elements that they have to prove to get a judgment for emotional distress is to show that the actions were outrageous. All right, so that's why they fixed their initial complaint, and now they're putting it in the amended to say this is the fact that supports our claim of its outrageous conduct to support a judgment for emotional distress. I hope this is making sense. All right, so what else did they change from their initial complaint? So on paragraph 28, where I have the yellow line drawn, it used to say Joseph Petito, let me double check here. Yeah, so it was paragraph 27, but now it's paragraph 28 in this amended complaint, where it says that Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, we're looking at paragraph 28, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie refused to respond to either Joseph Petito or Nichole Schmidt or law enforcement. They deleted or law enforcement. Why did they delete or law enforcement? Because they don't want to have to deal with constitutional challenges, right? If a law enforcement is asking Brian's parents questions, they have the right to remain silent. It's called the Fifth Amendment. So I think this is Gabby's parents trying to preempt that challenge, trying to not, trying to say that they're not claiming anything about law enforcement. They're just dealing with Gabby's parents and what Gabby's parents' rights were. Okay, so interesting. They deleted the reference to law enforcement. Okay, what else did they change? Paragraph 31, which is paragraph 30, I think it's 32, it's 31 in the initial lawsuit, but now they added information now in the amended. So look at the part that's highlighted. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie knew of the mental suffering and the anguish of Joseph Petito and Nichole Schmidt. In not knowing the well-being or location of their daughter, and further knew that such mental suffering and anguish increased each day that Gabrielle Petito was missing. This is really sad. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie further knew that they could prevent such additional mental suffering and anguish of Gabby's parents. Those 4 lines are new. They've added this. Why did they say that they specifically knew this information? They're saying that Brian's parents specifically knew this information to bolster their claim for emotional distress, to say that Brian's parents knew this, and they did it with the intent to cause Gabby's parents emotional distress. Okay, so again, they are adding more facts to support their lawsuit for intentional infliction of emotional distress and to survive the judge, to survive a motion to dismiss, right? They don't want the judge to dismiss this lawsuit. Brian's parents want the judge to dismiss the lawsuit, but Gabby's parents have put in these facts to support their claim. Okay, now we're going to get to, they added this part. So here they are alleging, and I'll go back here. So it's regarding, this is because it's intentional infliction as opposed to negligent infliction of emotional distress. When you allege intentional infliction of emotional distress, you have to show that Brian's parents exhibited extreme and outrageous conduct, which constitutes behavior under the circumstance, which goes beyond all possible bounds of decency and is regarded as shocking, atrocious, and utterly intolerable in a civilized community, including, this is the part they added, including and without limitation to A, B, C, and D, and E. So I'm going to go through those. Specifically, Gabby's parents are now alleging failing to advise them that Gabby was dead. B, failing to disclose to them the location of Gabby's body. C, taking a family vacation with their son, Brian, who had murdered Gabrielle Petito, while Gabby's parents were desperately seeking her whereabouts. D, blocking access to their cell phone and Facebook page to preclude Gabby's parents from getting information regarding Gabby Petito, and issuing a press release expressing, quote, hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family, knowing full well that Gabby Petito was deceased. Again, these 5, A, B, C, D, these 5 elements, they're specifically pointing out, they're specifically alleging facts to support Brian's parents had knowledge. And because they had knowledge of these alleged facts, that withholding of that information caused Gabby's parents to suffer emotional distress, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, whether or not the judge finds this to be sufficient enough, to be sufficient facts to allege intentional infliction of emotional distress, we'll find that out at the motion to dismiss hearing, okay? So what else did they add? They added counts now. They added 4 counts in their amended complaint. Now, this is different than their initial complaint. So they're now specifying who did what. Count 4. So there's 2 counts. Count 1 and count 2 is what Gabby's parents allege that Christopher and Roberta Laundrie did. Counts 3 and 4 relate to what Nichole Schmidt, Gabby's mother, alleges that Christopher and Roberta Laundrie did. And the reason they are specifying in particular who did what is because that's what Brian's parents said in challenging their initial complaint by saying it was insufficient because they didn't say which party did what. So here's where Gabby's parents are attempting to fix the deficiency. I hope this is making sense. All right, so count 1 is Joseph Petito, so Gabby's father against Brian's father. And in paragraph 33 it says restates and incorporates all those facts that I just went through, everything that we just talked about. And they're saying it's a direct and proximate result of the willfulness and the maliciousness of Christopher Laundrie. Gabby's father suffered pain and suffering, mental anguish, etc. Okay? And Gabby's father is asking for a judgment in his favor against Christopher Laundrie. So that's count 1. And to award whatever compensatory damages. Count 2 is Gabby's dad against Brian's mother. Same thing. They're restating the facts alleged above, saying that she acted, Roberta Laundrie acted with willfulness and maliciousness. It caused Gabby's father to suffer pain and suffering. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? And Gabby's dad is asking for judgment in his favor against Roberta Laundrie for causing the pain and suffering, right? And asking for compensation. Count 3 is Gabby's mother against Gabby's father. Again, they're alleging the same facts above, saying the same willfulness and maliciousness by Christopher Laundrie towards Gabby's mother caused her to suffer pain and suffering. And she is seeking, Gabby's mother is seeking judgment in her favor against Brian's father and for just compensation for the damages. Okay, count 4, which is the last count. Gabby's mom is suing Gabby's mom is suing Brian's mom for the same facts alleged above, all the knowledge, right? Direct and proximate result, the willfulness and maliciousness of Brian's mother towards Gabby's mother caused Gabby's mother to suffer pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, loss of capacity for enjoyment of life experienced in the past and to be experienced in the future. I mean, this is really sad. And then, wherefore plaintiff Nichole Schmidt respectfully requests that the Honorable Court enter a judgment in her favor against Brian's mother for compensation to make them whole for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. So that is the complaint, the amended complaint. So now the question is, now the judge is going to have to decide whether or not that's sufficient in those 4 corners of that amended complaint. Is that sufficiently pled? Are there enough facts in there to support a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress? And did Gabby's parents sufficiently plead, sufficiently show who did what? What are they alleging Brian's father did? What are they alleging Brian's mother did? And whether or not that constitutes enough evidence, enough facts at this point, allegations, I should say. And again, a complaint is just an allegation. It doesn't mean it's true. They still have to prove this by evidence, right? So the next thing that's going to happen here is the judge will set, well, first of all, the defense, Brian's parents could file an a motion to dismiss or a new motion to dismiss based on this amended complaint, or they can go ahead and just argue it or plead it, actually, at the motion to dismiss hearing. So it's called the dismissal hearing, and it'll probably be set maybe in the next week. We'll get a date, but the date of the hearing will probably be 2 to 3 or 4 weeks out. We'll see. And I'll keep you posted on that. So again, this video is simply my opinion. So what's your analysis? What do you think about this amended complaint? You know, did they allege enough facts? Do you think they're going to survive? Do you think this lawsuit is going to survive and not be dismissed? Or do you think it's going to be challenged? Do you think Brian's parents have a chance of getting this case thrown out? You know, go ahead and look at my Examining the Lawsuit, the Petito versus Laundrie lawsuit. And I think I did 4 or 5 other videos giving you the updates. So again, we're going to wait to see when they're going to have the motion to dismiss. You know, Brian's parents are asking for this lawsuit to be thrown out on constitutional grounds, right? The right to remain silent, the First Amendment right to free speech or not to talk, Sixth Amendment right to counsel, etc. So we'll see. So leave your analysis in the comment. Please do subscribe to my channel and please hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching.